Oh, sorry, don't mind me there. I just strike my PS5 control. Nah, this is gonna be such a cringe start. I got that's why I didn't actually upload yesterday. I got my PS5 and I'm wanting to stream. I'm gonna start streaming on the PS5 because I've not streamed many games for a long time now, and I've downloaded like 2K etc. So for people interested in that, I'm gonna start streaming on Twitch again. Not now, but like I'm waiting until Black Friday to get my setup sorted, and once that's all done, hopefully we can get back on that grind. But random start, how did the NBA let this happen? Another JxmyHighroller reaction. I enjoy his videos. I don't know what the context behind his video is, but I enjoy his videos anyway. So I'm just intrigued to get into this. I'm not going to ramble too much at the start because I had that cringe intro. But let's just get into this and see what this video is about, man.
Okay, it's been about a month since the last NBA game was concluded.
Turn my light off. Just hit my PS5 over. What an absolutely insane start. Alright, we're back into it.
In the NBA bubble. And now that we've had some time to really think about what unfolded last season, let's take a look at some of the more memorable moments of the 2019-2020 NBA season. Never mind, the NBA made an executive decision to start the season in 5 weeks, so here we go. These boys just got off the court. These boys haven't played in months. So how is the NBA going to make its return for the 2020-2021 season, and who exactly will benefit from this unorthodox comeback? Well, for starters, the league announced last week that this upcoming season will be starting on December 22nd with a 72-game season and no fans in attendance.
Oh, wow,
after losing $1.5 billion in revenue last season due to COVID-related restrictions, the NBA is approaching its 2021 season with caution. The league is currently trying to figure out how to generate the most revenue possible while still keeping everyone safe and following all protocols. Current projections suggest that if the NBA is unable to bring back fans for the entire 2021 season, which seems to be the case at the moment, the league will be facing a $4 billion loss in revenue. That's billion with a B. And you don't need to be an expert in finances to understand the implications that this will have on the salary cap, free agency, the luxury tax, and just about every other facet of the league. The alternative...
I'm intrigued. Why is the NBA not allowing fans? Like American football has, baseball started doing it near the end. Is it because like the stadiums are sort of enclosed, so it's not like open air, so maybe it's a lot easier to catch like the virus through that? Because that's probably the most obvious answer, but still... It's very interesting, I'm not going to lie. And it's sad because seeing the fans back in those sports, it's just refreshing. So the fact they're not going to be back in basketball, it sucks, man, but they've got to do what they got to do, right?
Schedule, which seems less likely with each passing day, would have the NBA starting in mid-January and ending late into the summer, which means the league would be competing with the Summer Olympics, college football, the NFL, and potentially the MLB. And up to this point, trying to compete with the NFL for viewers' attention has been a massive wake-up call for the NBA. I mean, it's bad. As much as I love the NBA, the league just cannot compete with the NFL in terms of viewers. Game 6 of the finals this season, a win or go home, all or nothing, last game of the season, fell on a Sunday. And that same Sunday, every single nationally televised NFL game drew...
Look at those NFL numbers. Oh my god. That is ridiculous.
Drew in far more views than the NBA Finals. In fact, since the NBA began keeping track of viewership on a game-to-game basis in the 80s, the 5 least watched finals games all came this season. Averaging just under 7.5 million viewers per game doesn't sound all that bad. Until you consider the fact that in 1998, the Bulls vs. Jazz Finals series averaged 29 million viewers per game. So, to put it short, the NBA will do everything in its power to avoid coinciding with the NFL season. Thus, they have all the more incentive to push for a December start date as opposed to a later one. But even after $1.5 billion in revenue loss last season, the league is still, believe it or not, thriving. Last season, despite all the major obstacles the NBA had to overcome, the league still generated $8.3 billion, twice as much as it did just 9 years ago. The league has rapidly expanded over the last 5 years thanks to Adam Silver and league executives making huge efforts to spread the NBA's reach around the globe.
Yeah, that's a good
So,
point.
if you've ever wondered why players like Nicholas Batum, Chandler Parsons, and Otto Porter are making more money than a prime Kobe Bryant, it's because the league as a whole is making vastly more money than it did 13 years ago. And yes, Kobe's salary is adjusted for inflation. Before factoring inflation, this entire chart is just painful to look at. But the start date of December 22nd is far more important than you may think. If you are a fan of the NBA, then you know that there are specific must-watch days throughout the NBA season. Opening Day, the All-Star Game, the Finals, and of course, Christmas Day. Some of the most memorable moments...
Wait, they play games on Christmas? I didn't know that. If that's the case, that's insane.
in league history took place on Christmas.
What?
And fans are always ready to tune in on this special day.
Oh, shit.
In 2015,
That
the
is
Cavaliers vs.
insane.
Warriors Christmas game drew in over 11 million viewers. In comparison, the average regular season game that season attracted about 2 million viewers. In fact, Christmas Day games in 2011 drew on average more viewers than Game 3 of the finals this season.
Oh my
Now,
God.
take a wild guess at when the 2011 NBA season started. Bingo. The most lucrative day in regular season history was on Christmas Day in 2011, which was also opening day that season due to the lockout. The NBA knows if they miss this day, they are potentially missing out on the most exciting and profitable day of the entire season, and the league will do everything in its power to get the season going by this date. But with interest and ratings for the NBA plummeting last season, many critics are skeptical that the league will be capable of returning to a somewhat normal and profitable season. In fact, many critics believe that the NBA, for many illegitimate reasons, was the only sport to suffer a huge hit from COVID. But this was far from the case. The NHL Stanley Cup saw a drop of 61% in viewership last season. The US Open was down 56% from last year. The MLB saw a drop of as much as 44% in viewership compared to the previous season. Here's a graphic showing how nearly every major American sport has seen a massive drop in viewership this last year. Every sport has suffered from not only COVID, but from the election and from odd schedules that fans are still adjusting to. So, with the league returning just 10 weeks after the conclusion of the finals, how will teams and players have to adjust, and who exactly benefits from this extremely unusual circumstance? Well, teams that made deep run in the playoffs last season are basically getting shafted, and some players are not happy about it. Most off seasons last about 120 days, which means by the time the season starts on December 22nd, half of the league will already have a full off season under their belt.
Some of the players have been off for nearly 300 days. That is insane. That is insane.
And the bottom 6 teams in the league will have not seen an NBA game in 9 months, or about 2.5 off seasons worth of days. Even more startling is how long it's been since we've seen some NBA stars. By the time the season returns, it'll have been over a year and a half since we last saw Kevin Durant and Klay Thompson.
And Klay Thompson with the injury that he's got, which I feel that's one of the most devastating things, man. He's out for the season, back-to-back seasons. That's actually so gutting, man. The Klay Thompson injury is so, it just sucks, man. Honestly, I was so excited to see, him, the Splash Brothers. I was so excited to see what the Warriors could do, and he just gets hit with that. I feel so bad for him, man. It sucks.
Thompson play. Karl Anthony Towns will be back after not playing for over 10 months. Kyrie Irving will be back after nearly 11 months. Blake Griffin will make his return after an entire year of not playing. And then there's the king of hiatus, the emperor of the offseason, the mogul of missed time, my man John Wall, who went from an NBA All-Star to not playing an NBA game for 2 whole years.
Oh my God.
2 years. Keep in mind, the average NBA offseason lasts just 120 days. These guys are basically coming out of a brief retirement.
That is insane.
Meanwhile, the Heat, the Lakers, and a 35-year-old LeBron are forced to bounce back from a prolonged season in just 72 days. Well, at least for LeBron, not really. Since LeBron has came out and said that with the season starting so soon, he will be, quote, cherry-picking the whole first half of the season. Of course, this was said jokingly, but shoot, I ain't mad at him. Can you imagine if, let's say, Michael Jordan said that he would take some time off to recoup and reset after years of long seasons? Oh.
Yeah, he did, to be fair.
That's right. But seriously, teams like the Lakers, Heat, Celtics, and Nuggets, as well as other teams that made deep runs in the playoffs last season, are really getting the short end of the stick here. How will a early season matchup featuring a tired Lakers team versus a rejuvenated Warriors team with a fresh Stephen Curry and a well-rested and recovered Klay Thompson play out? How will the Miami Heat hold up in January against a Nets team that has two superstars with fresh legs and hunger to reclaim greatness? These are all completely new and unforeseen circumstances that may change the landscape of the 2021 season. One of the lesser discussed aspects of this rush start date revolves around the drafts and the incoming rookies. Rookies usually get 4 months to work out with their teams, adjust to the physicality and pace of the NBA play, and learn about their team's system. But with the 2020 NBA draft scheduled to take place on November 18th, incoming rookies will have a month before the start of the season to get up to speed and make the leap. Now, as much as I appreciate LaMelo Ball's game, I don't know how many 30-foot bombs 5 seconds into the shot clock I can take before I lose my mind. But I would not be surprised if this upcoming rookie class struggles throughout the season due to their lack of prep time. The jump from college basketball or overseas leagues to the NBA is massive. And as if that transition wasn't difficult enough, these young men are going to be thrown right into the lion's den with little to no adjustment. But just like everyone else in the league, these rookies will have to work with what they got. An odd and surprisingly early start date to a season that may or may not go as planned. But with the way the NBA swiftly handled the bubble in Orlando, I have no doubts that this upcoming season will be amazing. The league now has more parity than it's had in years. Man. The Lakers, Clippers, Bucks, Nuggets, Warriors, Celtics, Heat.
I'm guessing the Warriors are probably lower now because of that injury that they suffered, or because of Klay Thompson's injury. I'm still so gutted about that, man. Like, you know, like any neutral fan any fan I feel like just wants to see a tight sort of season where like so many different teams just have a chance to win. And it's just like, man, I feel like I've seen them being linked to Oubre. I can't say his name. Kelly Oubre. I'm sorry for the pronunciation, but I'm guessing but like, is that going to be sort of their replacement, or are they going to look for other players as well? Like, I guess they just have to go the season without him again, really, don't they? Which is crazy.
Nets, they all have a shot this next season. And lucky for us, we are just 5 short weeks away from witnessing this epic season go down. Hope you all enjoyed, and as always, until next time.
Another interesting video, man. Back with a banger once again. What a channel, man. He's still one of my favorite. He probably is my favorite content creator that I react to, man. Honestly, his videos are so intriguing. Thank you for reminding me of Derrick Rose's game winner against the Lakers on Christmas Day, opening day 2011. Still my YouTube go. I can't believe some years the opening day of the NBA is on Christmas. That is so sick. I never even knew that. I thought all sports just stopped. A well-rested and recovered Klay Thompson that age. Yeah. It's actually so gutting, man. A future millionaire will like this comment. I'm not one of those weirdos, man. These comments are so stupid. Jimmy should be on ESPN, bro. He would be the perfect for a show like First Take and The Jump. He sounds like he would be the narrator for a basketball documentary, honestly. I mean, to be honest, he makes his own documentaries on YouTube. And nowadays, you don't even need to be on like ESPN or like all these big sort of corporation like channels. YouTube is far enough, and he's probably making more money than a lot of these guys, man. So hopefully he just keeps doing what he's doing. But it would be cool seeing that, I'm not going to lie. Jimmy's wife, I think we should have kids. They have so many benefits. Let's look at the charts. I haven't watched it yet, but I know it's going to be a chart. This is another banger, though, I'm not going to lie. And it's interesting seeing how... I didn't realise the sort of the difference in popularity between American football and the NBA in the US. I'm guessing a lot of the NBA's popularity is from out of the US as well then. Because I didn't realise it was such a big difference. But then saying that, I know a lot of people who watch my videos are from like a lot of European countries, from like the Philippines, and like all the countries around the world. So I guess in that way the NBA like makes a lot of their sort of following from that, like from internationally. But still, in the US, some of those stats were ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting video, and I hope you guys wanted to enjoy it, man. bit different. Look, well, I say it's a bit different. It is just his sort of style of content, I guess you could say. But hopefully you guys enjoy this, and until next time, like, subscribe, peace.